Hello everybody, welcome back to Without Wisdom. So far I've been your host, Zero Yeti. And we're doing something interesting this week with all these picks have been done by Aura Master 101. Because if you want to do animals that he loves, I said go ahead and go for it. So without further ado, let's go get into it with the first animal of the week, being the Emperor Scorpion, which is a species of scorpion native to rainforests and savannas throughout West Africa. At between 7 and 8 inches long and upwards of 30 grams in weight, the emperor scorpion is one of the largest species of scorpion on Earth. The large pincers are blackish red and have a granular texture. The front part of the body, or the prosoma, is made up of 4 sections, each with a pair of legs. Behind the fourth pair of legs are comb-like structures known as pectinines, which tend to be larger in males than females. The tail, known as a metasoma, is long and curves back over the body. It ends with a large receptacle containing the venom glands and is tipped with a sharp, curved stinger. Because the emperor scorpion often relies on its large size and strong claws for both defense and subduing prey, its venom is fairly mild and comparable to that of a bee sting. As such, it can be painful, but is essentially harmless to humans, although severe allergic reactions may occur in certain individuals. Additionally, the emperor scorpion fluoresces greenish-blue under ultraviolet light and is a mostly nocturnal species, spending its time hiding underneath rocks and leaf litter or buried inside termite mounds, emerging at night to feed primarily on insects and other terrestrial invertebrates, and on rare occasions, small reptiles and mammals. Emperor scorpions themselves are typically preyed upon by various birds, mammals, and large lizards. A somewhat sociable species, up to a dozen of these scorpions have been known to share burrows together. Mating occurs year-round but requires warm temperatures, and after a 7 to 10 month gestation period, females will give birth to as many as 35 young. These young are often bright white in color and will stay with their mother, often riding on her back, in a familiar group for the first several weeks of life, usually setting off on their own after the first major molt. Under ideal conditions, an emperor scorpion may live as long as 8 years. Next up is the Limousin, or the Limousin, or the French Limousin, or the Limousin, is a French breed of beef cattle originating from the west of the massive central area between central and southwestern France, which is a rather rainy region with harsh climate conditions and poor granite soil. This lack of resources has also enabled the region to remain relatively isolated and the farmers free to develop their cattle with little outside genetic interference for several thousand years. As a result, Limousin cattle evolved into a breed of unusual sturdiness, health, and adaptability. It is a large breed sporting a strong bone frame. Mature Limousin females average between 1,400 and 1,800 pounds and around 4.5 feet tall at the shoulder, with bulls measuring between 2,000 and 2,800 pounds in weight and over 5 feet tall. The head is small and short with a broad forehead, and the neck is short and stout. Coat color is typically golden red and lighter in color around the stomach, inside the thighs, around the eyes, the muzzle, and at the end of the tail. The skin is also free of pigmentation. Occasionally, Limousin come in black coats, and this stems from crossbreeding efforts in the 19th century. During the early times of animal power, Limousin gained a well-earned reputation as work animals. However, with the mechanization of agriculture in the 20th century, numbers declined. In the 1960s, there were still more than 250,000 head, but the future of the breed was not clear. It was proposed that it be merged with other blonde draught breeds of the southwestern France. Instead, an international breeding association was formed, and now the Limousin is a popular beef breed raised throughout 80 countries worldwide. Next up, we have the green humphead parrotfish, which is a species of fish found in and around reefs throughout the Indian and Pacific Oceans, from the Red Sea in the west to Samoa in the east, and from the Yaeyama Islands in the north to the Great Barrier Reef in the south. They are the largest species of parrotfish, over 4.5 feet in length and 165 pounds in weight. They are easily distinguished by their beak-like teeth plates that are only partially covered by fleshy lips. Males and females look the same in this species, with males being slightly larger. The juveniles start out in a greenish-brown color with 5 bands of whitish spots arrayed vertically along their body, developing a pronounced vertical head hump as they mature. When fully grown, they range from olive or bluish-gray to slate gray with a yellowish to pink blaze down the front of their face. Gregarious by nature, bumphead parrotfish form shoals of between 20 and 100 fish, resting in shallow sandy lagoon flats around caves and shipwrecks at night. During the day, the adults move into the seaward side as they scour the coral reef for food, which primarily consists of benthic algae and live coral, which they are known to break up into manageable chunks by ramming it with their heads. As each fish consumes up to 5 tons of reef carbohydrates per year, these parrotfish are important sand producers and responsible for much of the Earth's fine, white, powdery beaches. Humphead parrotfish themselves are preyed upon by both large sharks and cetaceans. However, humans are by far and away their most frequent predator. Nearly all humphead parrotfish begin life as females, possessing hermaphroditic qualities, which are triggered during the pre-reproductive period and undergo physiological changes required to become male when a dominant male dies or leaves the group. Courtship and pelagic spawning activities occur during the early morning of a new lunar cycle, and the newly hatched humphead fry drift with the current, where they feed on algae until they can seek refuge in the shallows, preferring mangrove, forest, root systems, and seagrass lagoons, where they primarily feed on seaweed for up to 3 years before joining the adults in the reefs. And a humphead parrotfish may live up to 40 years under ideal conditions. Next up is the ravine trapdoor spider, which is a species of rare, oddly shaped North American burrowing spider belonging to the trapdoor spider family Cetizontidae. It typically inhabits sloping riverbanks and ravines throughout Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee, where it burrows into damp, sandy soils, creating a vertical tube that narrows towards the bottom. The spider lines the walls of this burrow with silk and constructs a hinged door out of a wafer of silk on top of the burrow. It then camouflages the outside of it with bits of sticks, leaves, and other debris. Like most other spiders, females are larger than males, measuring around 1.5 inches compared to the male's 3/4 inch length. This plump, thick-legged spider looks as though the end of its abdomen had been sliced off. From behind, the spider presents a tough, flat, circular shield resembling the cover of a manhole. At the center of this shield are 6 circular dents with grooves that radiate outward. The shield is black and the rest of the body is typically a dark brown in color. And the spider's 8 eyes are arranged close together in 2 rows, 4 eyes above and 4 eyes below. They have low venom levels and are rarely known to bite, thus are not considered dangerous to humans. The ravine trapdoor spider spends most of its time inside the burrow, waiting behind its trapdoor to ambush passing prey such as insects, small amphibians, and other arthropods. They typically only leave their burrows in case of flooding or to search for mates. Excuse me. Eggs remain within a sac, which the female spider hangs inside the burrow and fiercely protects until they hatch. Under ideal conditions, the ravine trapdoor spider may live up to 12 years. Next up is the Rantomea amazonica, which is more commonly known as the Amazonian poison dart frog, which is a species of arboreal dart frog in the genus Rhamnotomea, and can be found in pockets of rainforests throughout northeast Peru, southwest Colombia, Brazil, Venezuela, extreme southern Guyana, and eastern French Guiana. Females tend to be slightly bigger than males, at around 19 millimeters in length, as compared to the male 16 millimeters. Like most frogs, they sport smooth, semi-permeable skin, and the torso is laterally striped orange or red, while the legs and arms feature a mesh of blue, gray, or green on black coloration. This bright coloration is correlated with the toxicity of the species, which is then displayed to deter potential predators from eating the frog. Uh, this venom, while being fairly weak, also helps protect the frog from fungal and bacterial infections, and like all poison dart frogs, they derive their toxicity from their diet, in this case being mites, ants, small millipedes, and small centipedes. The Amazonian poison dart frog also feeds upon small flies, isopods, springtails, and termites, and are themselves preyed upon by fire-bellied snakes. After mating, clutches of 2 to 6 eggs are laid in bromeliads, which are a type of plant, and they particularly submerge in water, which they hatch after a period of around 10 to 16 days. Parental care is quite extensive, with both parents frequently bringing food to the tadpoles in the form of dead arthropods or even unfertilized eggs. And if their nursery pool begins to dry, the father will even transport the young upon his back to a different plant to ensure the young's survival. These tadpoles will fully mature and set off on their own around 60 days of age, and they may live up to 10 years under ideal conditions. Next up is the common cuckoo, which is a member of the cuckoo order of birds, Cuckoos, which also includes roadrunners, the annies, and the cuckoos. Common cuckoo is a widespread summer migrant to Europe and Asia and winters in Africa. The birds arrive in Europe in April and leave in September. It is also known to occasionally occur throughout several countries, including Barbados, United States, Greenland, Faroe Islands, Iceland, Indonesia, Canada, Papua, the Seychelles, Taiwan, and China. They prefer open savanna and temperate grassland, where they feed upon insects, caterpillars, eggs, and smaller birds. Common cuckoos measure roughly around 13 inches long from bill to tail and sport a wingspan of between 22 and 24 inches. It has a slender body, long tail, and short legs. All adult males are slate gray, and the great throat extends well down the bird's breast with a sharp demarcation on the barred underparts. The iris, orbital ring, and base of the bill and feet are yellow. Gray adult females have a pinkish buff or buff background on the bearing and neck sides, and sometimes small rufous spots on the median and grayer coverts on the outer webs of the secondary feathers. Rufous morph adult females have a reddish-brown upper parts with dark gray and black bars. The black upper part bars are narrower than the rufous bars, and as opposed to the rufous juvenile birds, where the black bars are broader. The common cuckoos are most prominently known as their role as obligate brood parasites, which means they lay eggs in the nests of other bird species, particularly of dunnocks, meadow pipits, and reed warblers. Although its eggs are larger than those of its host, the eggs of each type of host nest resemble the host's eggs. The adult, too, is a mimic, and in this case of the sparrowhawk, since that species of predator, the mimicry gives the female cuckoo time to lay her eggs without being attacked, and the adult female common cuckoo may visit up to 50 nests in a given season. Depending on the host species it is being raised by, hatched cuckoo chicks may push out eggs, push the other eggs out of the nest, or be raised alongside the host chicks. The chick will fledge and leave the nest around 20 days after hatching, and common cuckoos reach sexual maturity around 2 years of age and may live upwards of 6 years. And our extinct animal of the week is Arthropleura, which is Greek for jointed ribs. It is a genus of extinct millipede that lived throughout what is now northeastern North America and Scotland around 345 to 295 million years ago. From the Visian stage of the Lower Carboniferous period to the Azalean stage of the Lower Permian period. With some specimens reaching upwards of 9 feet in length and nearly 2 feet wide, Arthropleura is not only the largest known land invertebrate to ever exist, it is a contender for the biggest arthropod of all time. And like other arthropods of the Carboniferous period, its gigantism has been attributed to the greater abundance of oxygen in the atmosphere at this time. The flattened body of Arthropleura was composed of approximately 30 jointed segments, each of which is covered by 2 side plates and a center plate. The ratio of pairs of legs to body segments was approximately 8 to 6, similar to those represented in modern-day millipedes. Because the mouth of Arthropleura has never been recovered. For a long time, Arthropleura was believed to be an active predator and frequently portrayed as a gigantic version of the tropical centipede genus Scoliopendra. However, later studies of gut contents, coprolites, and the digestive tract have shown this animal had an herbivorous diet consisting of ferns, cycads, and other plant material. Many fossilized trackways have also been preserved, with some even showing Arthropleura moving around rocks and trees as it grazed and made its way through the Carboniferous rainforest. Arthropleura disappears from the fossil record during the early Permian, when the climate dried and the lush forests were replaced with arid and desert-like environments. As always, take care tonight, guys, gals, non-binary pals.